Now, I mentioned that we're coming up to your busy time of the year, the silly season, as we call it. What is the in Hawke's Bay in the Eastern District? What is your priorities as road policing manager?
So our priorities, or my priorities here, is obviously the safety of everyone on our roads. It's a time of year when everyone's going to see their loved ones travelling on the open roads to other cities. So yeah, we really want our roads to be safe places to travel for all New Zealanders and visitors here. The key messages, I guess, is expect to see police anywhere, anytime. We'll be doing more visible checkpoints as we always do this time of year. Expect to get breath tested every time you're stopped, no matter what time of day. We also have zero tolerance around speed or other breaches, so please take that seriously. The main reason we focus on speed is to drive down the mean speeds on our road, because the faster you travel and have a collision, the less chance of survival. So yeah, we don't want to be door knocking on people's houses to tell them that their loved ones have been killed in a crash. That's one of the worst things to have to do this time of year.
Absolutely.
Some of the road safety messaging we have, is it worth getting there 10 minutes earlier when you're travelling to another city by taking risks, or just peel back your speed a little bit and you'll get there safely? Is it worth your life looking away from their window to look at your phone? It's not. So you just take time to think about setting yourself up in the car before you go, so your phone's on silent, you have no distractions, and you're really alert and looking at what's in front and behind you. Travel at the speed of life. Road Safe has some really good messaging around this. You'll see on the television and newspapers and other forums. The speed limit's not a target. We want you to travel under the speed limit at a safe speed. Wear your seatbelts. That's a really key thing. So yeah, always wear your seatbelt in a vehicle. Make sure your passengers are wearing seatbelts. Make sure children have the correct restraints for their age and size. That are some of the key messages.
Yeah. Now, how bad is drink driving at this time of the year?
It's pretty bad actually all year round. We probably detect more in the evenings, and in this time of year we focus even more on our checkpoints. But what you'll see is we are actually doing checkpoints earlier in the evening to try and deter people from taking their next drink before they are over the limit. So getting pulled over and getting the secondary test where you blow on the tube, I think, is really waking people up to the fact that, yeah, the level that they're able to take is very low. So plan your way home before you go to that function. If you're having drinks after work, think about it the day before, how you're going to get there, how you're going to get home, arrange a ride with a friend, taxi, Uber, whatever you've got available in your area, so that you don't drive home after you've had some drinks.
So if someone has to drive home after drinking, and I know it varies from person to person, but as a rule of thumb, what would you suggest how many drinks they have?
I don't suggest any.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rather abstain, rather just teetotal for the night and ensure your safety.
Yeah, or have a nominated designated driver. I mean, so many people have to work all sorts of shifts and things these days. Find the person in your group to volunteer to be that person and look after you, or arrange someone at home to come pick you up. There are lots of options. There's taxis, other services people can use to get home. We'll stay the night, someone's couch, that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. What are some of the other issues? Because obviously you have people who decide to go on long trips and that. Do you see a lot of people, tired drivers, that sort of thing?
Yes, fatigue is definitely an issue. So you'll see a lot of advertising from Road Safe again about this, and we do fatigue stops jointly with other agencies, encouraging people to pull over and have a bit of a break. Have a cup of tea or water or something, just a bit of a break from the concentration on the road. Obviously in Hawke's Bay and Tairāwhiti, we've been badly impacted on our roads by Cyclone Gabrielle. So people need to take their time. There's still roadworks and road workers out there fixing the roads. There's still parts of our roads that are damaged, so we need to take extra care still. We're not there yet as far as having everything repaired.
Now, a lot of people, when they see police on the road, they get a bit nervous and they slow down or whatever, which I suppose is the desired effect. But not all your interactions are bad. What are some of the sort of general communications that you have with people on the road? And are there some positive things out there?
Absolutely. We interact really well with public, and your average person we stop and speak to is very pleasant and appreciative of police being on the road, because there is a deterrent effect around bad driving behaviour by us being on the roads, which is why we try and be on the highways as much as we can in our road policing team, so that people on the road feel safe and just that whole visibility.
Yeah. Now, the worst thing, obviously, are fatal accidents, and I think you've got aim to have 0 this year. What sort of effect does this have on your staff and that? Because it must be quite traumatic for them as well.
Yes, I have the serious crash team that work for me that deal with all the investigations into those. And yeah, other staff are involved in obviously dealing with the families of the deceased or the injured persons. Yeah, we have way too many on our roads, and all it takes is, one distraction can cause a crash. So people need to take care. This year in Eastern District, we've had approximately 18 fatal crashes on our roads. Now that's a provisional number that we count based on what our team are working on, because that also includes like medical events. Say someone has a heart attack and crashes into a power pole and dies, that's counted as a fatal crash for us. So the actual official figures through Hawke are published separately. So, but my team are working on those cases, and there's over 31 serious injury cases that we're dealing with as well across our district. So Hawke's Bay had 14 fatal crashes this year. That's way too many. That's, every one of those is a family affected.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully it's much less, even 0 this year, at the end of this year. Yeah.
Yeah, so Hawke have the Road to Zero campaign, which is actually, even though it says 0, it's a 40% reduction in the road tolls, what we're actually focused on, and police are delivering a lot to assist with that around our key causes of road deaths and serious injury. So the 4 things being restraints, so seatbelts and restraints for children, making sure people are wearing those. Impairment, we're really focused on the alcohol detection and also drug detection. We do the compulsory impairment testing for people who may have taken some substance that impairs them while they're driving. Distraction, we focus on cell phone use and other things that cause people not to be concentrating. And then speed, and the under 11 kilometres over an hour speed is the target that we're focusing on to bring everyday New Zealanders' speed down, so that the impact of a crash when they happen is a lot less.
So in one sentence, what would your message be to people out on the road in Hawke's Bay this silly season?
Take care on our roads, think ahead, plan before you travel on how you're going to get there, do all the right things, have rest, wear your seatbelt, ensure that your passengers have theirs on, and you don't drink and drive. There's nothing new here. These are all things everyone knows, and we just want everyone to look after each other on the road and get to their loved ones.
Inspector Angela Hallett, thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate it, and I hope you have a good end of the year and festive season.
Thank you.